to In the Know with Larvell and Floyd. Just gonna jump right in.
Yeah, man. Just do it. Let's just do it.
All right, who do we got in the house tonight?
Man, I am so privileged to have Mr. Chris Staples.
What's
Man.
up, guys? What's good?
Oh man, it's good to see you. Good to see you.
Man, it's a blessing to be here. I appreciate you guys having me.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming on, brother. Thank you for coming on.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this thing here. All right, so Chris.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So, I'm Christopher Henry Staples, a director of youth, family, and adaptive golf at a course called Hagen Oaks in Sacramento. Been playing golf for a long time, been in the golf industry, married, 4 kids, 31, family man, but really passionate about growing the game of golf, man, especially for people of minority backgrounds, and that's a huge passion of mine. So I feel blessed with the opportunity to kind of pay it forward and kind of grow the game in that aspect. That's kind of me in a nutshell.
Okay.
I've been trying to golf for like the last 5 years.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm really trying. I've been trying.
Well, that's the thing. You gotta keep
going. You know, it's like every time I go by a golf course and everything, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bring out my golf clubs and just go.
Right.
It's just like you said. It's been about 5-6 years.
You keep driving.
I even have.
Never pull over.
Yeah, I even have 2 sets of golf clubs, like 2 sets, and it's just sitting in the closet. Been in there for months, so we need to rectify that situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm like, man. But Chris, what made you decide to even start this lifestyle, this golf lifestyle?
So it was not a decision of my own. Honestly, it was kind of like God intervention, because my dad's business partner just got me a set of clubs when I was 7. Of course, I'm hooping and playing football, and I ain't thinking about no golf. I went out there. I think I took 1 lesson, and it was terrible. I was like, nah, I need to stick to the golf and the basketball. And then about at 11 and a half, I moved across the street from the golf course in Long Beach, California, called Rec Park South. They had an 18-hole and they had a 9-hole, and of course, my mom's was like, it's 11 o'clock. You in the house after football practice. You gotta figure out something else to do. So I had my little set. Took it to the golf course, man, and got bit by the bug, man. It was such a hard game, which made me, the passion, I guess, grew from there.
Okay. That's one of those things, like, when you plan it, it's like, what, in your opinion, okay, just tell me, honestly, when you're actually playing the game in person compared to watching the game, which one?
I knew you was going to ask that question. It's, man, I don't know, you just got to do it, man, and it's like the more you do it, the more you realize how dope of a game it is. I'm a free spirit at heart, so for me, it's like, I'm on the golf course, like, it's beautiful, like, there's so many golf courses, and it's a lot of me certain experiences that I wouldn't have had if I played other sports. Like, it's provided me a network, right, that I would not have had if I hooped, because I mean, I was caddying for about 3 to 4 years at this course called Bel Air Country Club, and rubbing elbows with 1%ers and picking their brain, caddying for them, and so, like, it put me in a whole different network, like, that I would have never been able to get a hold of if I wasn't a part of this game.
Okay.
It's all about the connections, not about what you know.
It's who you know.
Exactly.
So what, like, as you're like going through this whole golf course and bumping shoulder to shoulder to the golfers there. Now, are you like affiliated with the PGA Tour?
Me right now in my position that I'm in now.
Uh-huh.
So right now I am a part of the PGA program and just like the big PGA, but I am not affiliated with the PGA at all. So there's like it's like a separate entity. There's like the player PGA Tour, which is strictly players, and then there's a PGA of America, which is like your golf instructors, your general managers, all the people that the superintendents that run the golf course. Like that's the arena I'm in. But I have a very unique position. I'm at a very unique place, honestly. Like if I'm keeping it 100, like I've worked a lot of jobs in the golf industry, and the course that I'm working at, there's like nothing like it. I mean, it's like kind of a one of one situation. So it's hard to say because I was a first assistant in New Jersey. We just moved to Sacramento last year, so I was a first assistant, which is like just under being a head professional. Which I hated that job because it was like I was behind the desk. I wasn't.
Mm.
I had no purpose. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing what my purpose was. So, yeah, hated that.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Now you what the program that you have right now, you're helping the youth, you're helping kids develop and come up,
Yeah,
pretty much like a mentor to the young folks.
correct.
Now, how does that like start? How does that go on?
What do you mean?
Like how do you when you're teaching the youth how to develop their game,
Hmm.
do they like respond to that? Do they like, okay, golf, is this something, do I really want to do this thing?
Yeah,
What is it?
that's a great question. So it's less technical than you would think. Like so, which is falls into the uniqueness of where I'm working, and just also it kind of aligned with how I instruct and coach as well. Um, I'm super old school. There's like this new wave of golfer and golf instructor that it's kind of a money grab if I'm being honest, and there is no intent in growing the person and growing the game at the same time. It's like what I'm saying, let me just give you quick fixes, so to speak. And there's not a lot of honesty and transparency about being honest. So for me, with what the programs that I have, it's like, yeah, your kid's gonna get the golf skill, right? They're gonna learn how to hold the club. They're gonna get that stuff, but they're gonna learn how to be athletic because surprisingly, being an athlete is a huge portion of the game, and that's why you see a lot of celebrities and hoopers and stuff like that, football players that they're playing the game. Larry Fitzgerald, perfect example. You know what I'm saying? He loves the game, man. And so, and then also, the major key is have fun. Like we follow this model. It's called the ADM. It's Athletic Development Model, and it's used by the Olympics. And basically, the United States is at the bottom of this list out of all the countries as far as growing Olympic athletes because our burnout rate is extremely high. So what
Wow.
we're doing as a society is we see potential, right? We see talent and potential, and we force it, right, at a very young age. And it
Mhm.
takes the fun out of it. And so what we're doing is kind of rerouting that. So it's like, nah, you're gonna have fun. We're gonna have games that are fun. You're gonna learn technique. You're gonna learn people skills because you got to be able to look somebody in the eye, have confidence. You got all these words, which we also tie into like the first T model, which is the core values of like perseverance, confidence, integrity, like all those key kind of words that makes you a good person. We incorporate all those things, but honestly, man, the main thing is to have fun because golf is. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm in a sport that's kind of corny, like you. That's why most people won't play because, like, man,
Right.
like that sport is corny, and it's like Nah, it's really not. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where input Chris Staples to kind of change that narrative.
I never thought that golf was corny. I never looked at it that way. The way I view golf is a rich man's game. Nine
Okay.
times out of ten, somebody with some money is gonna be playing golf,
Yeah.
Well, that's
and
the
that's like you go back to the network.
Yeah, that's the other side too. I mean, and that's honestly that's why I think that's a blessing and a curse though, because the curse is it's a rich man's sport. Which, if I'm talking from a minority perspective, it
Mm.
discourages the financially humble to even try to find out how to participate, right? And then the
Hmm.
dope thing is, it is a money sport. A lot of deals, I've been, like I said, I was a caddy at Bel Air. I've seen a lot of deals done on the golf course. Talking about millions of dollars, talking big money. And I'm like, whoa, like, they're talking like these are pesos. And so that, you know what I'm saying? It's like it provides a different network. And so it's about what I'm trying to do is kind of blend the two, right?
Yeah.
And my huge passion, my huge thing is to grow like the inner city golf program, grow the minority golf program because I want to see. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all got family members that grew up in the inner city, was kind of hood a little bit. You know what I'm saying, and probably went a different route. Now, I
Yeah.
want to be that type of person that is like, hey, man, you can come cut grass. Like, you can
Hmm.
come cut grass at the golf course and make a couple dollars, and maybe you might want to play the game. And, we can take that 15-year-old kid that's struggling in school and just, like, reroute them and just give them a different perspective. So, that's huge for me, man. It's super big for me.
Oh man, that's awesome.
It's good to
Uh,
change the narrative because, like I
you
said,
know.
that's coming up. They said if you want to make it in life, learn how to play some golf.
Do they really say that? Is that a saying?
But I've always heard, you want to, succeed, especially in business, because that's where it goes back to. That's where the business deals are made is on the golf course.
Yeah.
Nine times out of 10, when gets into business, they're gonna learn golf. They're gonna be
so
out there.
so basically, all I gotta do is just know how to get a golf club and the ball and just swing it and then make a deal.
That's it.
Oh, that's it, bro. You just gotta learn how to
Golf
be all in
is the deal.
all. Go out there by yourself, man. Grab a hot dog and a soda, and just go by yourself and just meet people. Like, you'll be so surprised. Like,
Hmm.
and what's crazy is you get some of the old rich heads that play at public courses that like just want to get out and just explore. They're not all at the country clubs. Like,
Yeah.
I've met people that own pretty big companies, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm just out here. I didn't feel like playing at my country club today, so I just wanted to play some public course golf." Like, they want to feel regular. That's the whole thing. It's like, and you talk with these people, and they're like, they don't want to be the business exec, the CEO, the CFO. They just want to be Joe Schmo. My name's
Right.
Brad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really how it is. Like, I think golf is so crazy because it puts it's such a humbling sport. It puts
Mhm.
everybody at a level playing field. So you can
Hmm.
be like low income and have a nice game, and you can be like Al Michaels, who I've caddied for, and he's trash and he plays a lot. So it's
Yeah,
like
but
it's
Trump that runs the country used to run the country. Think you top dog, but
yeah,
can't play worth nothing. Got to cheat.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
humbling, bro. It's humbling.
Yeah. So speaking of that, well, I have two more questions for you. This
Yeah.
one is you have mentioned it, caddying.
Yes.
And I heard that being a caddy is one of the most important positions in golf.
So if I'm being honest, there would be, and this is the thing about the game and what I was trying to talk about, breaking the narrative. Um, Black people were the majority of caddies for a
Mm.
long portion of time, and a lot of those caddies can play, like
yeah,
play. And there has been this lack of inclusion, which is crazy, right? Because there was more black people in the game in the 70s and 80s than there is now.
Wow.
There is it's the man. There's so many stories I could tell, bro. I wish I had time to tell them all. But it's just like even Caddy and that Bel Air, man. There was some old heads like 60s, 70s that played mini tour, played a couple PGA events that were just stout at a certain point in time, and it's like, man, they went through a mental crisis because of being called the N word all the time, being spit, people stepping on their golf balls, people spitting on their golf balls, like just wild stuff that's like inhumane, and it's like discouraging. It's like, well, I don't want to be a part of that. So like that, there was this great falling away, and so like I said, now it's like kind of cool. Now golf is deemed as kind of cool. I still think it's kind of corny. If I'm being honest, I think there's a long way to go. There's it's a lot of tradition. Like this course called Los Angeles Country Club just let their first minority member in like less than 10 years ago. First minority member. If you saw their clubhouse, it looks like the big house. It's still like that. It's still like that. Still to this day. It's hard. Even Augusta, as great as that course is, they just let minority members in less than 10 years ago. It's just, it's different, and nobody knows this because of what you said. It's like a rich white dude's sport. Like it's a rich man's sport. Nobody knows this because there's not a lot of us going out there and participating anymore because it's discouraging.
Right.
Think of the sports that like. Hate to make this comparison, but think of the sports that African Americans and minorities have done. And I was grown, right? And just think of like hockey. There's not a lot of black players, but the ones that get in it, they start. They're nice too. Tiger Woods, who obviously he doesn't really want to proclaim that he's black, but we know he's black.
I was going to ask you about that, but he brought it up in.
Bro, that's crazy. Like, bro, your dad is black. Like, have you seen this man lately? You seen his goatee? He look like something. Bro, pull up a picture of Tiger right now. Man has he has a cold goatee too. Like he has a clean one. And you're like, right, come on, man, you can't fake the funk. Like you can't.
Wow. Wait, I gotta put it up to the camera here, man.
Bro has a cold goatee. Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Get out of here.
You can't do it like that. But it's like nobody. I think what happened with Tiger, and I think it was a lot of influence from his dad, is that his dad knew that the money, the truck, the Brinks truck was coming through. So I don't think he wanted to push against the grain, even though he was telling his son from a very young age, from, 13, 14, 15, 16, yeah, you're going to be the Michael Jordan of golf. Like, that's who you are. Who's black? Like, why are you going to compare him to Michael Jordan if he's not black? Like, you could have said, like, Larry Bird or something like that. But it's like, no, you're black, buddy. Like, that's what it is. And it's saddening but we still support him because it's like, bro, he's the man. And he's the GOAT to me. Like, I love Jack, but Tiger literally changed the game. He changed the game. Literally. Like, courses lengthened because of him. Purses went up from like $100,000 to $5 million purses, bro, because of Tiger Woods. Like, come on, man. Like, I think there's levels. Oh, look at my cousin pulling up. Yeah, man, it's different, man. I love this game, man. I love this game. It's such a blessing. I hope y'all play. I'm gonna pull up to Arizona. We're gonna go. I'm gonna just take y'all out. Y'all can roll it around the golf course, but we're gonna go play.
I got extra clubs.
Let's do it.
I got extra clubs.
Yeah, man. We got it. One more thing though before we let you go. I wanted to talk about the Wellness Mondays.
Yes. Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Man, so my mom started this thing called Wellness Mondays, and it's a spiritual journey as well as a realistic journey. Obviously, I mean, not obvious because I haven't talked about it, but I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ. He's changed my life wholeheartedly. I've been in some really dark places, and if it wasn't for him, I would not be where I am today. So my mom is a behavioralist by trade, and she's, God put it on her heart to make a thing called Wellness Mondays, and I've been a part of it, and it's been such a blessing, man. Such a journey to hear different testimonies and people talking about stuff that they've been through, and just realistically, like, we're all low key mentally ill. Like, we all have gone through something very traumatic, and if you haven't, God bless you. That's awesome. But for the most part, a lot of the people I know have gone through something traumatic. And granted, there's levels, but there's trauma that has happened, and a lot of us just suppress it and just kind of float through life and never talk about it or get help. So this platform is Wellness Monday is to provide an opportunity for people to come in and maybe hear something that they, like, somebody's going through. Like, I share a lot of my testimony and things that I've been through. We have different people that pop on, and honestly, like I said, my mom is the big pusher of that. That's her thing, and I'm just the asset and try to help out as much as I can. But that's on Mondays at like 6:45 on Facebook. It's under Old Grace Ministries. If you look up Old Grace Ministries, you can find that. But it's great, man. She's been doing it for about a year now, and like I said, I just hopped on probably 6 to 7 months ago, and we had a certain interview where I shared my testimony, and it got a lot of feedback, which prompted us to start doing it together. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, man. That's super cool. I'm not as frequent. I'm like every other week, but because my schedule's just crazy. But like when I'm on there, like it's just, we just talk. We have candid conversations. Sometimes it's a mother-son dynamic where we're talking about some real stuff that is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for most, but it's a lot of people are getting and saying that they're getting healing from it, and they're getting a deeper perspective. So.
Therapeutic.
Yeah,
nice.
It is.
So make sure we start sharing that on our page. So
yeah, we appreciate that, man. That would be a blessing. I appreciate
that. And so, Chris, what is the if somebody's traveling and they want to check your club out, how do they get there? I mean, how do they?
One, you can hit me up on Instagram. The Swing Liaison, THE Swing Liaison, just like it sounds, all together. And then I'm at Hagen Oaks Golf Complex. If you type in Hagen Oaks, you search Hagen Oaks, and then you go into the instructors, you'll see my face. I'm up there. Just pull up, man. My contact information's all on the website, so if you have any questions, the best way to get me is honestly through Instagram, if I'm being honest. Unless you're at the course and like I'm doing lessons with you, or you're in one of my programs, but just hit me up on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, I thank you, and I appreciate you, and we will do this again.
Thank you.